Got some Coke Dream World.
Dude, that stuff is trash.
It's not great.
Cocaine.
It's really not great.
It's not good. It tastes like a fucking gumball.
It tastes like a fucking tropical plum starburst, which is also not good.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. To me, it tastes like a gumball or like a Tic Tac.
Like a tropical Tic Tac?
I guess.
Anyway, we're sponsored by Southern Star. Southern Star.
Yeah, which is
Brewery.
way better than Coca-Cola Dream World.
Rip it, baby.
What do you have for me this time? Hacking into the stock market, closing down a bank, fixing an election. It's all easy.
What a bunch of trash.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Trash Movie Kings podcast. I am your host, Adam Edwards. Joining me this week, Justin Petty. JP, how are you?
I'm doing real good tonight, guys.
Real good.
Just having a sick Thursday night with my boys, blasting brews. That's a good one for me.
Okay.
Happy Thursday.
Are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, Apocalypse Howell and J.D. Karpicki are out on assignment this week, so we've just got a three-banger for y'all. Also joining us, Joey Graham. Joseph, how are you?
I'm fine. I feel kind of tired and a little out of it, but I'm ready to talk about, a movie that we watched.
Yeah.
You should have taken a 3-hour 5 p.m. nap like me.
Well, you can't do that anymore.
When you have a 1-year-old.
He woke up at like 2 a.m. last night and wanted to play.
That's cool.
Just put earplugs in.
And I just abided him. Well, we were staying at my parents' house because we were having the Mulder mediation that I mentioned from last week. So it's actually been like 3 nights in a row of him waking up around 2 a.m. and just wanted to play. And I just
This is a
hung out
common
with
thing
him.
at your parents' house, right? Like he's been struggling to sleep through the night at their house.
Yeah, he doesn't do well at different people's homes. He likes to wake up and have a little fun at like 2, 3 a.m. in the morning for an hour or two.
I get that, man.
And
When you're not home,
I just go
always
with it because I'm like,
Yeah. How does he play at that hour?
I don't know. The only thing I remember doing was like I was holding him and then like he was being kind of obnoxious and tapping me in the face, and I just started going like in his nostrils, and then he started doing it back to me and then laughing, and I would do it back to him and he would laugh.
I do that with
like-
Oliver a lot.
I was like, we're just doing this for 20 minutes. You do it to a dog.
I mean, I do it to my dog, so.
Your daughter?
My dog.
Also,
Have you-
yes, his daughter.
It'd be hilarious if Adam had a random daughter suddenly.
His
You
dog.
didn't
It's
know
not,
about-
it's not impossible.
It's not
not
impossible.
impossible.
It's like a 5-year-old girl, and it's like, well, it's
Yeah.
okay.
She
Cool.
looks exactly like me.
And she plays video games.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, well, there's no denying that. All right.
cool.
So this week, we watched 1995's Rage from the PM Entertainment Group. This was directed by Joseph Mary, starring Gary Daniels, Kenneth Tagar, Fiona Hutchinson, some other people. Peter Jason makes an appearance.
A lot of stuntmen shaped or people shaped like stuntmen, I would say.
Yeah, like the lead, Gary Daniels. He's a big dude. He was in the Tekken movie, which I didn't know until
I
just
didn't know
now that
that
there was a
existed.
Tekken movie.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a Tekken movie.
Tekken was like the first very fluid fighting video game. Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
the
it was like the
3D-ish.
first like
Yeah.
martial artsy one. Like it was
Yeah,
Sick.
it's yeah. I did not know there was a game for that. A movie for that rather. He was
Me neither.
also in The Expendables.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah,
It makes sense.
Was he a big enough action star in the 90s and 80s?
his character is called the Brit. So
I'm
I don't
assuming he
know.
wasn't like a main guy, but yeah.
Right. But yeah, he's just kind of like one of those. I'm a big dude and I'm gonna play big dudes, right?
Big dude 4th grade teachers.
Yeah, very kindergarten cop, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, this is kind of a, I don't know, what would you call it? Like a kind of like a manhunt style chase movie.
Like The Fugitive ish,
Yeah.
mixed with all kinds of action movies, really. A little bit of
Yeah.
Speed, I feel like, is in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some
Um,
Skyscraper.
A little bit of Universal
I
Soldier.
don't know if this movie or Skyscraper came first. It's obviously from the same company.
Right.
And Anna
Um,
Nicole Smith has huge boobs and I think gets naked in that one. But this is just a guy. He gets also topless, but
He does. He's the only person to get topless.
yeah.
He's the only one we needed.
Mm.
This came before Skyscraper. Not much before, but
Yeah,
before.
I would think so. Yeah.
They probably filmed them at the same time at the same building. Honestly.
Well, I bet they were like, well, we could just go back to that building and shoot it, try again. I don't know if Skyscraper was like successful. I assume if they made another one of these, like it, and add Anna Nicole Smith, I guess they probably made some money.
Who wants to explain the very, very light plot of this film?
I can give it a run through.
Go for it, Justin.
Let's see how it goes. This movie starts. Wait, how does it start? It starts out with a totally unrelated story, which before I actually go through the plot, I wanted to ask y'all, is the guy that gets in the car that sets off our plot the same guy from the house in the very, very beginning, or is he a totally unrelated?
Which guy?
The
The gunman
gangbanger.
guy or the?
The Hispanic guy?
Yeah.
I think he's definitely from the
He's-
house.
I think it's implied that he leaves that house and then gets in our main character's car.
Yeah.
Okay, because it really was not clear. Because
No,
we
it was
did
not.
this whole. We start at this house, which is, it seems to be a house full of
Immigrants?
immigrant day workers, I guess.
Yeah.
And one of them is kind of the head guy that it seems like he's kind of doing the heavy lifting and finding them employment. And they don't really express what they're doing, but they are working and helping out cops for certain things fairly frequently, it seems like.
Seems to be
um,
taking photos or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the photos are for, but
Just a lot of
the-
photos taken randomly. I don't
Yeah.
understand why.
Maybe
There's a
fake
bunch of
IDs
Polaroids.
or something. I don't really.
There's
know.
literally no, like, it's a cold open to this movie to Polaroid pictures being taken.
Yeah, it quickly devolves into the immigrant, or they're like, oh yeah, the cop is like, hey, I need some bodies for the West Tech, right?
Yeah.
For the experiments, and the head of the worker guys is like, nah, dude, and then it just gets really out of control.
Yeah. And so there's a whole shootout there, and everybody misses everybody for the first like 2 minutes of this shootout. They're awful at fucking shooting people.
I think it's actually that's more realistic to shooting, in my opinion.
They're 10 feet from each other.
It's hard to hit people with
They're
a gun.
in a fucking living room.
It's very difficult when they're moving around.
You don't
If someone's
hit people
standing
with a gun.
still, sure. I mean, hit them with bullets.
It'd be easier to throw a bullet at them.
But they were really good at shooting all the bottles and glasses.
Yeah, they really were. And I
Much
think there was
more
one
visual.
headshot, and then at the cop headshot, we have a hard cut to.
Monkey.
It just cuts to him. Yeah, it cuts a hard cut to a guy in a classroom writing "monkey" on a chalkboard in front of a bunch of kids. No context.
Monkeys,
Turns out he's
kids.
teaching them about monkeys, I guess.
Yeah, he's like a fourth
But,
grade teacher.
Yeah, we got a little kindergarten cop action. He's an
Cuts to
Australian muscle
kindergarten
man
Yeah.
with a fat hog teaching little kids about monkeys.
To be clear,
The
they
hog
don't
is
show
important.
his hog to the fourth graders.
No, he doesn't
but we
show it
know.
to him, but it is implied. You see that?
It
you see
isn't
that.
implied.
We know it's there.
The young fourth graders can see it through his pleated
Oh yeah, you see that real
Pleated
rocket.
jeans. Yeah.
pleated jeans. Everyone's got big pleated jeans in this.
He wears that blazer for like 70% of the movie.
No, he does not.
Before he puts on the cop uniform, he's wearing
Yeah,
the
he
blazer
wears the cop uniform for
in the
70% of the
18-wheeler.
movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
the
half.
Okay.
He goes halfsies.
Anyway, he goes.
And he wears that
so
gi
we-
for part of it.
Yeah, one scene. So we cut to him teaching at the school. And then we go from the school, we follow him home to meet his wife and daughter.
Mhm.
And we
Very
learn that
sexy.
he's a very straight family man from Australia.
Or is he British? I don't know.
No, I think he's Australian.
I think he's Australian.
They keep referencing me as a Brit in this movie, though. And then you were
Do
saying in
they?
the Expendables, they call them the Brits. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
That's
He
weird.
100% sounds Australian to me.
Yeah, he sounds
Yeah.
Australian, but yeah, I don't know.
Could be either way. Regardless, he leaves.
Like he takes his daughter to school, and then he's on his way to school after dropping his daughter off.
Mhm.
And it's like the whole next day. Apparently, these cops are still chasing this dude from the shootout the day before.
I didn't think about that. I don't know.
And he jumps in the car and he holds a gun to him and he makes him drive. And they drive around in his neighborhood in circles for a little bit. And the cops corner him in a cul-de-sac, I guess. And they pull them both out of the car and they beat the shit out of him. They beat him like fucking senseless.
Yeah. So the
It's very clear that he was not like aiding this dude
Yeah,
with the
he
gun.
was a hostage.
He was clearly a hostage, and the
Yeah.
cops beat the shit out of him and throw him
Both
on
of
a
them.
gurney and kidnap the both of them and take them to a
Yeah.
facility that is very you find out is very universal soldiery. They pump them full
Mhm.
of super soldier serum. They're trying to create mindless war machines, which
yeah.
I just want to say that I'm really bummed that there were none of these super soldiers that went after him. They missed a
Right?
huge fucking opportunity for some
Yeah.
tight super
Yeah.
soldier action.
Yeah.
They just
Well-
we just move past that.
The
And
thing
it
this
becomes
movie
nothing
seems
about it.
concerned with is sort of a like a white person perspective of taking care of or being concerned with immigrants or something. I don't know. There's like this whole bend when the scientists at West Tech, I believe it's called, are like,
Yeah.
he's white. And he's not
Oh,
messed
yeah.
up. And he's like perfect white.
Yeah, didn't they say something like somebody's
Yeah.
gonna miss him? He's a family man. Some
Yeah.
shit like that. It's like people care about this
Yeah.
man.
That was part of it, but the
Yeah.
other side of it too, which I think is what Joey's getting at, is they were like, "Oh, he's the perfect specimen for what we want to do because he's white."
Oh.
Or,
And
I
that-
don't
that-
know.
That
Yeah, it
comes
was just-
back later in the movie. It comes back a little bit later where they. So anyway, he's in this facility and they inject him with something, and then he immediately breaks out. And
he
fights.
breaks the fuck out.
Yeah, he
Not in
fights.
hives. He breaks
every-
out and beats their ass.
He jumps over all kinds of things. There's all kinds of glass breaking. This is an escape.
Yeah,
Like an escape.
things
for
are
all
blowing up.
escapes.
He's jumping over explosions.
It's like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, oh, like, are we gonna learn he's like already a super soldier? But no.
We
I
do
guess, like-
find out later that he's been taking secret martial arts lessons that were not revealed until the third act.
Yeah,
Right.
we do learn that later that he has a sensei, but it's really ham-fisted into the back end of this thing. I guess they get him in the lab, and then they take him to the desert, and then try to kill him, and then he escapes from that too. And then he
Oh,
then
right,
he
'cause
hits-
They put him in the trunk of the car and kicked it over the ledge. That's right.
Yeah. They can't kill this guy. That's when you're like, oh, he's like super surrounded out or something. And then
you can't find him. They just give up on him because they can't see in the dark.
Yeah, they're like, it's pretty dark.
He got away.
Yeah.
Get some. That was one of my favorite lines of the
tomorrow.
movie. It's like, he's like, get some flares or something. We just can't let him go.
Come on, let's go get him.
It's too dark, we'll never find him.
Let's get some flares or something. We can't just let him go.
They throw a flare down the hill. Oh well.
So he hijacks an 18-wheeler for a 20-minute 18-wheeler fucking chase scene with the cops chasing him.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of booms. He's driving through barricades.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down "wow" a lot for this movie. Like, plays chicken with a school bus. Wow. What's with all these cops? Wow.
He blows through that stack of oranges, and it's like, wow.
Yeah. A lot of wow. It is pretty impressive, this 18-wheeler chase scene.
Yeah.
The head-on collision with the bus was.
Yeah.
I want to see the behind the scenes, because that feels like that stunt felt like some Jackie Chan, like at the end of Police Story when he slides down the string of lights in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that feels like a very dangerous stunt that they had one opportunity to pull off.
This movie definitely feels like they were Jackie Chan influenced. Just didn't.
Yes.
It feels like an American version of it that takes out some of the charm of it, because Jackie's not a. I wouldn't say Jackie Chan is a big guy. He's kind of like a goofy guy, and that's what makes Jackie Chan so special. But these are all like trained stunt guys doing kind of the same stuff and trying to Americanize it by going fucking way crazier. It's like, there's Jackie Chan off the bus in Police Story or whatever, and this is like a guy on top of a bus going head first with an 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
I guess
flying through the air.
Jackie Chan's movies, like, just due to his nature and how he does stunts, are usually like man on the run type stuff.
Yeah,
he's just
but
going nonstop,
he's just more creative. He's so much more
Yeah.
creative in a space. But these guys do a pretty good job, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for big beefy dumb Americans.
Yeah, it's just very Americanized version of it, I would say.
But to kind of go back to the playing chicken with the school bus, they're in that sequence. It's him and the 18-wheeler, and then the school bus is being driven by this blonde John Goodman cop who fucking steals the show for the first maybe 10 minutes of this movie that he's in. He dies in the accident, which is tragic, but
I wish that we had gotten like a flaming shot of him.
Yeah.
Like he deserved a more visible death.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was fun. He had some good lines.
He deserved to come back as like a crispy guy at the end.
Oh, that would have been
cool.
Yeah.
Or like he had been injected with all the super serum.
Yeah,
or
because he was
something.
in on the take, right? Like he was the one
Yeah.
that was rounding
Heading
up all
up
the
whole
bodies.
thing, yeah.
And so it would have been cool, yeah, if they brought him into West Tech and gave him the super serum, and then he's the Weapon X at the end of Wolverine that's trying to take him down.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of opportunities like that, but it's kind of pre-comic book stuff, so it doesn't seem probably as obvious to them as it does to us now.
That's fair. So the car chase ends, right? And then,
It does eventually end.
Yeah.
It goes on for 18-wheelers is like 18 minutes.
Yeah. What happens?
And
after
we immediately go into a helicopter fight scene for like another 10 minutes.
No. There's the reporter is
that?
introduced.
Yeah, we're introduced to the reporter.
who's like uncovering the story. I don't know how he uncovers this story. But he's the guy is all over the news. This his name is Gaynor, the Australian guy or possibly British guy, 4th grade teacher. And it's
he uncovers it because he goes to the library. Where does he? Like he does a background check on this this dude from like the library assistant on Ask Jeeves.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, he does.
He's like,
do
he has
some
no
kind of-
criminal record. He's a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
because he's like a national story at this point.
he's on hard copy and everything.
Rock hard copy.
Wow. He's being painted as a murderer, so this guy goes on a deep dive. But we're just introduced to him quickly. We get this camera woman that he's gonna work with, but then he shows up at like a BDSM couple's house.
Gaynor does, not the reporter. Yeah.
Yeah, Gaynor, the Aussie, the beefy fourth grader. Running away from the cops.
Beefy fourth grader.
The beefy fourth grader shows
teacher.
up at a BDSM.
Whatever. Beefy fourth grader.
He drops hog in the BDSM house.
Yeah, there's this Patton Oswalt getting being forced to lick boots or something. Not really Patton Oswalt, but some guy that kind of looks like him. And then it's a weird cut. Like we introduce this couple, and then we're shown that he's hiding in their house, and then it goes back to the reporter. He's questioning people like about the tech. Somehow he gets on the trail of West Tech. I have no idea how. That they were experimenting on monkeys, and that people didn't want to be involved with it. Which, immediate, like there's a character who's like, I don't work for West Tech anymore, and they experiment on monkeys. It's bad. And you're like, oh yeah, they wrote monkey at the beginning of his introduction. You're like, this is gonna have something to do with monkeys, but it doesn't. They just abandoned that right then and there.
We never see a single fucking monkey in this movie.
Yeah, there's no monkeys in this movie,
no
despite
monkeys.
it coming up twice. It's just like, are they gonna become monkeys? Why are we keep talking about this?
It's like they reference a lot of really cool shit that they just don't ever show. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, and then it's like something happened. They come back to the BDSM couple, and the BDSM couple is like trying to beat the shit out of him. I guess because they see him on the news and they know he's like a killer, but they
He
fail.
also broke into their house.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's an intruder in their home.
Yeah, but yeah, okay.
But by this point, if I remember correctly, at that point, does he already have the cop uniform?
No,
No,
he's
I
still
think
wearing his blazer.
I think he gets it after
Okay.
this, but
Okay,
maybe that guy is a cop or the woman is a cop. I don't know.
He steals a cop car at some point.
Maybe the cops
Yeah.
show up to their house. I think that's what it
I think
is.
That's what it is. They figure out that he's there. Maybe I guess they call the cops because they see him there. But
Right.
he escapes somehow and lifts a cop car, which has the cop uniform sitting in it. Which, yeah, it's fair to question why that would be happening if there was.
It's like fully outfitted. Like the badge is on it, the radio's on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Fucking shoes are tucked into socks somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
It's
just
like
change.
fully, it's like a fully equipped cop uniform. in
It's
the
like
backseat
a
of the
police
car.
officer got raptured in the back seat. And he's just like, cool, I'll take this.
It's on a hanger, so it sort of makes sense, but also a little strange. I have kept a work uniform in the back of my car before, but I am not a police officer, so I don't know. I assume the
Beer
back
you-
seat is used. Well, maybe it was in the front seat. I don't.
And he looks back. It's in the back seat, which is where the
It's definitely in
criminals
the
go.
back seat.
All right, it's
This is where the
caged in.
criminals and my badge goes.
My second badge, because I have one on because I'm raiding a house right now. I get
And
two
presumably
badges.
all the handcuff keys. I don't know.
My backup badge and handcuff keys.
And I keep the car keys in the car, the badge,
yeah.
and
Oh, dude, you
everything
didn't know
else.
this? Cops always keep their cars running. They
Keep
literally,
everything.
their fucking cars are running all the goddamn time. They don't give a fuck about gas.
We're paying their gas bill. God damn it.
American taxpayer pays for my shit.
So he steals a cop uniform.
Mm-hmm. Then he goes to visit his brother-in-law at a skyscraper office
Yeah.
to tell him he's innocent. I guess he doesn't have
He
any.
is now officially a kindergarten cop.
Because he visits a brother-in-law. The brother-in-law
He's got
looks
the uniform.
not related at all.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't teach kindergarten. I think it's like fourth grade.
Okay, so he's fourth grade cop. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Just ruin
It's a
everybody's
sequel.
fucking party all the goddamn time.
I mean, it's just not logical.
He talks to his brother-in-law, and his brother-in-law is like, I can't help you, man, but I'm going to give you $2. Maybe that'll help.
I can't help you. I've worked too hard to get to where
Mark
I am
Berman.
today. There's cops here. They've been here. They've talked to me.
Scoops.
They're all over the damn building. If they find out about this shit, I'm in deep trouble. I don't want any part of you. You understand?
Okay, George. Thanks a lot.
Alex. What? Wait. Here. Take this. Alex, I'm sorry.
It's a dollar bill.
Yeah, here, take $3.
Does he really give him $2?
Yes, he holds up.
Tries to.
He holds up like $2 bills. He's like, I need you to take this.
He spends like 5 minutes berating him and telling him he's such a
No
piece
one's
of
ever
shit and he
gonna
needs to stay
believe
away
you.
from his family. And then he's
Yeah.
like, hang on, take this. And he
Yeah.
like has $2 in his hand.
The brother-in-law is like a real dumb piece of shit. He's not like a piece of shit, but he's just a dumb piece of shit, you know?
Yeah, he's just kind of,
Ugh, there. I don't know why they chose it.
pud.
It almost seemed like maybe it was like
pud.
it almost seems like someone's real brother-in-law that they were like, I guess we'll put him in the fucking movie. Just because he's my fucking brother-in-law.
I'll
Hey,
do
you're
the
the
taxes
brother-in-law.
for the
Stoked
film
for the
if you let me
opportunity.
in the movie.
That's what it seems like. He seems like an accountant or something. Like, I'll do the accounting for less if you put me in your made for VHS action movie. But yeah, then we get to a really very cool scene that's like he runs to the top of the office building in the skyscraper and gets out on the ledge, and there's a helicopter. It's very reminiscent of the Matrix helicopter scene, I would say. But I mean, it goes on way long, but it stays pretty compelling. I mean, I don't want to go through every action beat of it, but it's pretty high.
It's high up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It feels like they're
high-level
really
stuff.
fighting on a helicopter.
I mean, I can't see any wires for the most part. I mean, obviously they have them. A lot of it's like hidden, hidden in the shot, I think, just on like an arm or something. And a lot of it, because he's hanging off for a while. And then similar to Speed, they shoot the cable reel that's holding.
yeah.
He falls and gets on and lands on one of the windshield wiper, one of those windshield wiper lifts or whatever you call them. And then they shoot
Which was
cable
it
for
inside
that.
the
and he
atrium?
falls again. No.
No. This is on
No,
the
that's
side of
the
the
end.
building.
Yeah, he
I
falls.
thought he fell through the building.
No, that's at the end of the scene.
No.
I
He's
think.
on the side. You had left at this point. You were grabbing another drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a bunch of
So
stuff happens.
Yeah, he's in the the window washer, like little lift that they take up the sides of the buildings,
Mm-hmm.
He's in one of those baskets, basically.
So
And-
he falls off the helicopter and then into that and then gets back on the
No.
helicopter again?
He falls off the side of the building into that, and then the helicopter
okay.
shoots the cable that's holding that.
And then
and
it
he
becomes
falls
like
from
a
there.
swing.
Right. And then he grabs that cable and Tarzan's back and
Goes
forth,
back and forth.
swings
Oh,
into the
swings
helicopter,
Into the helicopter.
grabs the
I missed
man's
the coolest
rifle,
part.
hits him in the fucking face with it, and then he's just holding on to the landing gear of the helicopter for a while until eventually he's pushed off. I don't remember how he gets off, but
I guess another guy gets him off.
I was like,
But he falls Spider-Man or Green Spider-Man 1 style into an atrium or grow room or something on the top of a building.
yeah.
And he lands on his fat hog,
yeah, he did.
which saves him. Then he goes and hides in a Folgers commercial.
I still don't know who that guy is.
No
This
one
is
does.
next door
It's
neighbor.
just- This is his neighbor or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
guess
is next
so.
door neighbor because he had that dumb kid,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the
you're
idiot kid that couldn't deliver a message without blowing his cover. Fucking kids, man, they
9-year-olds,
suck.
man.
Yeah. So then he's just hiding out there, injured or something.
Your dad wants to know if you can come over and play with him.
Yeah, while the cops are tapping the line, they're like, "We got him."
Maybe does he go to the hospital somewhere in between this? I can't.
No, that's
Is that late? Is that way later?
That's like the end of the movie.
Oh, okay. I just remember the wife being on the phone, but maybe it's not here. It just seems like maybe if you fell through an atrium, you would need to go to the hospital, I guess, to me. But not for this guy.
Nope.
Yeah, he hides in this Folgers looking commercial, but it's actually just his neighbor's house with a little kid. The media, I guess, gets word that he's there and starts congregating outside. A reporter guy who believes that he's innocent from earlier shows up and like makes up some really boneheaded story about how he's a neighbor as well, but he's wearing his press badge. It's so stupid. But for some reason the neighbor's just like, okay. You seem fine.
Guess I do want to talk about him.
Yeah, at first he's like, won't you say he's innocent on camera? And he's like, nah, I don't want to do that.
You know this Gaynor fella?
Yeah, I know him.
Who is this
You
guy?
think he's a good man?
Yes, I do.
This whole
But you
plot
guys
is
don't want to hear that.
Hey, I want to hear the truth. What kind of guy is he?
The most honest man I ever met. He's a good friend. He's a great neighbor.
Yeah. Would you go on TV and say that?
No. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he
Let him
spends
fry.
he spends a full minute telling how like good of a guy he is, how much he loves him, how much he respects him.
Yeah, he's
Like,
a great
no, I
guy.
don't want to tell anybody that publicly though.
He mows my side of the lawn
I'm not
sometimes. I
fucking
mow
gay,
his.
you know.
Then I don't know. Some stuff happens here. Oh, the next thing I remember is that the reporter guy's, asking to do a big story without a script about him,
Right.
and then we cut to the camera guys wearing shorts.
I was fortunate enough to talk to Gaynor just a few hours ago. He told me he was innocent, and for some reason, I believed him.
You want a story? Why don't
Nice
you show
These
shorts.
fucking guys in shorts. They get that right.
wicked innocent things to people?
Camera guys love fucking shorts.
This is not even about me.
Yeah.
Which I thought was highly accurate.
Such a dumb
Incredible-
cutaway though.
Incredibly accurate, yeah.
Yeah, for every camera guy like this for TV, live TV kind of thing, they all fucking love shorts like that, cargo shorts and fucking tennis shoes like that.
Yep.
Usually
Like mid-calf socks.
Yeah, like mid-calf socks, little action. It's very weird. Very accurate. Somebody knew what they were doing. I wouldn't be surprised if these
Gotta be
guys
prepared for anything.
They probably just
came
went
from
to
news.
a television studio and were like, just film these guys. Who cares?
Or if it was the actual cameraman and they were like, let's dress like camera guys from TV. That would make me happy if they did that.
Yeah.
Or they were just already dressed like that
Right.
Yeah.
because they're cameramen.
Right. Exactly.
But I want to say when he escapes his neighbor's house, I think that's when he gets to the marina with his wife and daughter.
Yes.
And they get on their yacht that a fourth grade salary pays for.
No. His sensei owns the yacht apparently.
Yeah, it's his sensei's
Oh, okay.
yacht.
So his kung fu master can afford a yacht. That makes
The
way more
neighborhood
sense.
karate teacher owns the yacht.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that a fourth grade teacher makes more than a sensei.
Right.
Depends on how good of a sensei you are.
I'm gonna put a fourth grade teacher in 1995 at $35,000 a year.
Yeah. Yacht money for sure.
1995. Oof, I'm gonna say
Since-
28,000.
It's perfectly possible.
And I mean, who knows? Maybe his wife makes a lot of money, but we don't know. Like, we're never told what she does.
I mean, he is a beefcake, so
Sure. Maybe he had a modeling
maybe
career.
she's a lawyer or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he just maybe he quit his modeling career, and now he does this.
Yeah. But he
Or
does
maybe
have a
his
yacht.
sensei came into some gold or something. I don't know.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
This would be a really good side plot of him searching for sunken treasure.
Yeah, but anyway, he fucks his wife on the boat in front of their child. Wait. Are they gonna really? Is he gonna fuck her raw on the boat like I asked?
Rob's. I mean, they're wearing
this
matching
little girl.
jeans, so
He's gonna stop her.
there's stuff inside,
me.
and I want to put it inside you.
Gross. Nobody wants to watch a mom have sex.
Okay, I would have liked to have seen that. Could have sat it ended,
But not in front of the cameras.
but not in front of the cameras. Yeah, they
He
pull back.
denim fucks his wife on the boat
Yeah.
in front of their
They both get
fully
topless.
denim-clad child.
There's no boobs in this movie.
They're matching jeans.
Yeah, they rub jeans and then cut. And here he reminds you that he was maybe possibly injected with some stuff by saying, "There's stuff inside me." When she's like trying to get intimate with him, and
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
know.
Yeah,
Put it on me.
She's like, "Yeah, I want it. I want it in my mouth
Yeah, it's cum, right?
or in my
It's-
anus."
It's it's cum that's inside of you.
Yeah, we have a kid.
He's not specific about what it is ever, so she probably just thought he was like talking dirty. I don't know. There's stuff inside me. And she's like, yeah, and then that's it.
He wakes up the next morning.
Cut to him tucking his daughter in.
Oh, yeah.
No, it cuts to the. It just cuts to him in the mall, doesn't it? From there,
No,
No,
it cuts to him
cuts to
checking
him
on
on-
his daughter who's asleep. He's like opening or closing the door, I guess. It's a shot of her asleep, and he's like peeking in the door, classic dad status. And then he closes the door behind him.
wow. But then we go to the mall. Yes, I don't know.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
then it's the next day on the boat, and he hugs his wife and
Oh,
daughter. The
He
wife's
says
crying,
goodbye. I
like
have to
you
go to
said
the
you weren't gonna
mall."
leave. I have to go to the mall.
Well, he says
Now we're
goodbye
at the
to
mall.
his wife, his daughter, and his sensei.
That's why
And then he goes to the mall.
I love the inclusion of the sensei in the third act. It's like this is why this guy is kind of good at roundhouse kicks.
Yeah.
The
He's
sensei
got a
is from
sensei.
an unmentioned country, and he speaks
A foreign
language, as the subtitles will note. Speaking foreign language.
No one bothered to figure out what it was. We noted that he looks kind of Vietnamese from what I know. That could be way off.
What he
But-
thinks.
But he doesn't do any martial arts or anything.
He doesn't do anything. He
doesn't-
stands
he
there and
says-
delivers a couple lines.
which we don't know what he says in
Yeah,
the
we don't know what
exit.
either of them are talking about because
But he's
it's
not
not translated. And
he's an adored figure in the film, though.
it's a scene that gives us no information.
And then goodbye. I have to go to the mall. Which, when I walked in, I missed, I guess, some of this. But when I walked in, he was at the mall, and I was like, "Is that the airport? Is he leaving town?" And you're like, "No, that's an Auntie M's behind him, or Auntie Anne's Pretzel Company." We're like, it could still be an airport.
Well, that could be an airport. I've had that at an airport. I've eaten a garlic pretzel at an airport.
It becomes very obvious that he's just at the mall. But maybe he's supposed to be at an airport. I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
it's the mall.
Which,
That's where
like-
he's giving his exclusive interview for the reporter.
yeah, why
He
pick
chose
the
to
mall?
do
I
this
don't know.
undercover exclusive live interview in the middle of a fucking mall.
A very popular thing. I mean, it's obvious that they're just doing it to circle stunt pieces around it, or
Yeah. It's like you said earlier, Justin. It's very Police Story, where the end of that movie takes place in a fucking mall. The end of this movie takes place in a mall.
yeah, there's a bus.
But that movie
and-
took place in the mall because they
Skyscraper
were
and mall.
like, there was a reason for them to go to the mall in that movie.
Well, you know,
Is there?
They're just like, let's meet at a mall and have this.
There's that bomb at the mall.
There's
in the
also a mall
second
in
one.
Kindergarten Cop. They're in a mall at the beginning of Kindergarten Cop.
Malls are just popular set pieces.
They're also in a school in Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
Mallrats took place at a mall.
There were no rats at Mallrats. Spoiler alert. Real fucking disappointment there.
Sorry, now I'm picturing you hosting a YouTube channel where you rate movies based on how good the rats were. Yeah, I watched Mallrats today. No rats. So
I gotta admit, I was really excited for this one. I mean, the name alone.
Rats in the mall.
I thought it was gonna be a hole in one.
It's just like figurative language or some bullshit. Anyway,
Fucking
0 rats out of 10.
Kevin Smith auteur.
Oh, we're down on Kevin Smith.
Him and
now.
his metaphors. Can't even put real rats in his fucking movie.
Clearly.
Or walruses.
mistake.
You got to turn a fucking guy into a walrus.
Can't just have real walruses. You son of a bitch.
Barbo walruses.
Okay.
Shout out to Barbara Walters.
Shout out to young Barbara Walters, I'll say.
She's not in the movie, to be clear.
No,
she is
no,
referenced, though.
Yeah, in some way.
Yeah.
Early on. Anyway, our Aussie super soldier, fourth grader, beefcake, gives his big interview that he's innocent in the mall. It's intense, I guess. And then there's a final fight with some cops. The leaders of the cops that are left, not the blonde guy, does not come back. No one turns into a monkey, which you think might be on the table, but it's taken off. There is, however, a fight in I'm going to say a sun coast.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where they they jump through at least a dozen glass fucking pieces of glass windows.
Glass panes, yeah.
Glass panes, which is pretty remarkable. I love.
Who's going to pay for all these Tupac CDs?
Who's going to pay for all this glass?
This movie loves throwing people through glass.
Loves.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of broken windows in this.
So much broken glass in this fucking movie. Right?
So, fuck that. Whoa.
God damn, this is like the fourth window.
God
has to.
damn. That is crazy. Oh.
Jesus.
Classic Gary Sinise. Me and my wife have sex scheduled twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Oh, that guy didn't go through the window. Oh, he did.
Oh,
now.
there he is. Another one.
A lot of the guys through glass. Oh, wow. He's just jogging through it now. T-Force or I-Force?
Yeah. CIA.
Ice.
I'm watching this and I'm like, I'm going to have to make a super cut of that.
All the guys going through glass.
It's going to be like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, they put it. This got to be it's got to be a record for at least our podcast.
Yeah. By far.
Yeah, I don't know what the most is.
There's a lot of car crashes too.
A lot of explosions.
Lots
This
of-
movie's all like stunt heavy.
Yeah.
It's like
They also
Action
they never
USA.
went back to the lab, which is like the whole point of this whole like thing. Like
Yeah.
we're trying to uncover this secret government
There's
facility.
No
that's-
time for that shit.
The whole point of the movie, and we never referenced it or come back to it again. It was a cool set piece too. For a movie like this, like it could have been something. They could have had some really
Coulda
fun
used
stuff
it
happen there.
twice. Yeah, like I said, you could show John Goodman, John Lawler, wrestler, cop, blonde guy.
John Lawler.
Him getting super soldiered up in that lab and then coming back, out of it. At least that would have made it a little better, I think.
Yeah.
But there was a balloon rope stunt that's pretty good in the mall, and there's a carousel scene which was weird and kind of fun. Then our main guy is getting shot by the cop guy. He's getting shot in like kneecaps or thighs. Gets shot in the gut, and then fucking like a random black dude just shows up and is like, you know what? This guy is innocent, and grabs this fucking pump shotgun or whatever and blows that other cop away.
Sure does.
Sort of inexplicably.
He was a cop also.
Yeah, he was.
He was from earlier in the movie. I can't remember which scene it was, but he pulled that shotgun out at another point in the movie too.
Okay.
Right, but they don't show him ever really putting together that he believes that.
Oh no,
innocent,
he just pops back up.
He
after
just shows
not
up.
being
He's
in the movie
like,
for an hour.
Stop it.
And then kills
Stop
his
doing
commanding
this.
officer, I guess.
Right, yeah, like he's just like, you're corrupt. Bye. But he doesn't say anything. He just pops up and shoots him. And then
and then he wakes up in the hospital.
Yeah, and his daughter gives him a stuffed hog.
Yep.
And
nice fluffy hog.
And credits roll.
Yeah.
Nice little tidy bow at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I guess he's
his hog.
innocent. He's proven innocent by the interview or whatever.
Yeah.
And life moves on for all these people.
And that is Rage. Did anybody have any favorite parts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple. When what's his name? Kelly the cop steals the school bus full of kids. We never know if it has kids in it or not, but it's definitely driving down the highway going somewhere, and he stops and commandeers a school bus, and his sergeant or whatever is like, you better not let him go, and he just responds with, I got a bus.
Mark, Chester, stop that bus.
Chester, make sure that bus doesn't go.
Hey, Kelly, I'm going after that tanker. What's going on, Kelly? I got a bus. I'm heading towards that tanker.
I got a bus.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
There's another one. With the trucker right before he throws the trucker out of the window. The trucker's like, "What's with all these cops?"
It's what's with all these cops?
Okay. You're not gonna get sick in my truck, are you? There's no doctors. I got no place to take you. Look, there's a rest stop about 2 miles up the road. I'll let you off there.
This trucker's just monologuing.
Cops are really into this.
What's with all these cops?
It's like definitely ellipsis there.
Oh yeah.
So mine is earlier when he's in the classroom and he's teaching the kids about monkeys, and he's talking about how some of them eat their own kind, which isn't true.
That's an ape thing. It's an ape thing. Chimpanzees will attack other chimpanzees sometimes.
Oh, okay. So he talks about how some monkeys are cannibals, and then one of the little girls goes, just like people. And our hero goes, no, people don't eat other people. And then this little snot-nosed kid goes, what about Jeffrey Dahmer?
Monkeys that we're talking about, they hunt very small animals, like lizards and birds. And some monkeys even eat smaller monkeys.
Like people do. No, Roger. People don't eat people. What about Jeffrey Dahmer?
He's a very rare exception. In fact, Jeffrey Dahmer was a very, very sick man.
The kid's tight. That kid is the neighbor's kid. He's the one who fucks up the phone call. Dumb little shithead.
Yeah, I recognize that dumb haircut.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This movie is really into tabloid culture. I think it thinks it's saying a lot about tabloid culture, which
it does feel like that.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, because they reference OJ.
They reference OJ. They have hard copy in it.
Yeah, Barbara Walters, hard copy.
Yeah, it's really
that's
that
true.
idea. And in some ways, I'm like, well, this just became regular news nowadays.
True.
I think about it, it's like,
yeah,
we're all obsessed with everything, except we're only obsessed. We're not obsessed actually, because everything changes within like 2 days.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, someone ate someone.
We don't have any of these.
Moving on.
When's the last time we had one of these kinds of like crazy marquee stories?
I mean the last one I could think of is not necessarily it's that Amber Heard poop bed thing or whatever with.
Well, I guess it's more like
they were I guess
a marquee story of like a private citizen, maybe not like a celebrity.
Yeah, the celebrity is always going to be a big thing, but
that's
like
what I'm saying. There's just like
the
it's
private
a TikTok
citizens
video now.
Yeah, we're connected all the time, so we just move past it.
Yeah,
right.
It's kind of weird, but maybe it's for the best. I don't know. Maybe probably
Joey,
not.
Joey, did you have a favorite part? Did I steal yours with Jeffrey Dahmer?
I had that one, and I had the line from the Big Rig.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I have one I can give you. You want me to give you one?
No, I mean we've just talked about a lot of them. What did you have? There was another one.
when the doctor, when he goes and talks to the doctor, and he's like, they're pumping him full of all these drugs, and he like lists off like a bunch of drugs, and he's like, and then a bunch of other shit I can't pronounce.
Bastards were pumping them with benzene, thioridazine, methylamine, traces of hydrochloric acid, and a list of other shit I can't pronounce.
Again. I mean, no, I just the blonde cop is great.
Yeah, he's great.
I was sad that he didn't come back. The whole helicopter fucking scene, I felt like in a legit way was just very gripping. The helicopter on the side of a skyscraper shit was
it was a good
great
action set.
Yeah.
Set piece.
I guess just stunts in general in this, but that whole thing just felt like, I don't know. I feel like the Wachowskis almost 100% saw that shit and were like, let's do it better, or with graphics and stuff, whatnot.
Yeah. It's remarkably similar.
I guess I could say for a weird thing, the photojournalist, camera woman, who can't put on a hat correctly backwards.
I love that this character
has a backwards hat without using it at all. It's just like on the top of her head.
Right. It's like she clearly spent an hour getting ready in the morning and then threw a hat on top.
Or she's dressed initially like she's an office kind of worker.
Yeah.
And then I guess she's tapped to become a videographer or ENG style camera person for news. And she like gets paired with this journalist who's like the journalist we follow initially. And she pops up all like hair raised. She's like, I'm not getting you coffee and I'm not doing this bullshit. And then he's like, I don't fucking care. Go get the fucking car. And she's like, okay. And then she leaves that scene and then comes back a completely different person. Where she's like, throw him a jeans, throw him a backwards hat. I'm a camera gal now.
They really do set her up as like the female in the office who has to fight for respect, and like she's
then immediately
she's got a chip on her shoulder, and then it's just like, oh, you're just a fucking camera guy.
I appreciate this movie's lip service to stuff in general. Lip service to feminism, lip service to immigrants, like I don't know, empathy or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
None of it's none of it feels very like resonant within the film. It's just, oh, we did it.
Well, it's like,
it's moving on. We don't know how to do it correctly.
Yeah.
So we try.
They reference all the cool shit too. It's the same thing. Like, we'll talk about this cool shit, but we don't really know how to show it in a way that'll be fun. So we'll just talk about it.
We wrote it. It's
briefly.
like stuntmen writing a script. So it's like, we know we like these things, but we don't know how to make them good in a movie. It's just like, let's pepper the movie with like sentiments we agree with, which I appreciated. This movie does abandon a lot of cool ideas as it goes, but it fills the gap with action set pieces, which is fine. Stunts is like, we don't know how to write good, but here's a guy falling off a thing or jumping through some glass or shooting the fuck out of people. Here's a big ass squib. Here's a weird sex scene on a boat, and here's a random Asian guy. Pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, if there's nothing else on plot or favorite parts or anything from anybody, anything?
I got nothing.
Just them saying, let's go take a closer look after he falls from the helicopter.
Damn. Crazy.
Classic chops. Nah, nobody could survive that. All right. Classic police incompetence.
Yeah, this movie is a cab forward.
100%. Well, then it sounds like we can move on to the bees.
Yeah, we can.
Hell yeah.
I didn't have a ton on this one, so maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some that I missed.
Yeah, but a lot of the standards.
Yeah, it's a lot of the standards, but also we didn't have boobs or butts, which was a big bummer for me.
Yeah. No boobs, butts, big bummer.
Yeah. But we did have bullets, tons and tons of bullets, broken bottles. We had a beefcake. We had berets. We had a body in a trunk. We had blood, barrels, a blazing blazer, and a boat. And then the honorary, we had throwing someone through a window a fucking million times.
Yeah.
And a chopper.
Guy through glass.
Guy through glass. And a helicopter. But like, we didn't have a boardroom or a briefcase or...
We were so boardroom adjacent for a lot of this movie too. There were some office settings that it was like, just do it, just go in there.
Yeah.
We were also boob adjacent and butts adjacent. Like,
we were so close to a lot of the good stuff.
Just pull a serum out of a briefcase.
Yeah,
I think you got it all.
We had a
BDSM, but
BDSM.
That's not really a standard.
We had one that I think should become a standard because it's something that it's actually in a lot of them. A biolab.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that.
We got a good amount of movies with like weird biolabs in them.
Oh, totally, because it usually results in some sort of human mutation or genetic splicing or whatever that becomes replicator or fucking
Hologram
body melt
man.
or
Yeah.
Science
we have bathrooms. He was hiding in bathrooms a lot. What?
Yeah, just bathrooms. How many times I was laughing last night, just randomly. I was laughing at that joke from the 40-year-old virgin where he's like, "How many times have you been to the bathroom in your life?" I don't know. Don't remember that joke. I don't know why. That's like the funniest joke from that whole movie to me. Is when he's drunk or whatever, Steve Carell towards the end of the movie is like, "How many times have you been in the bathroom in your life?"
Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I guess we can move on to the ratings.
Rated.
Does
Machine gun.
anybody want to start off? How about Adam? Adam, why don't you go ahead and start off? Yeah, I think I will.
You go first for once.
Yeah, I'll go first for once.
Should we guess what you're going to give it?
I would love for you to guess what I'm going to give it.
Justin, do you want to guess?
I'm gonna say a 4.
A 4? You think it's going to be a 4 from Adam?
Wow.
I'm gonna say a 2.5 from Adam because I assume he has it written down.
He definitely has it written down, but he does always change it.
It might be a 3.
He acts
At
like he's
most
got
a
it from the
3.
beginning of the podcast, but he always changes it.
He does, but not too much.
I've admitted that. I've
Like
said
he
that I
acts
write
like
it.
it's written in stone, but it's
He
never,
only does it
never
after,
is.
but he's going first this time, so it's different.
Right.
He wavers.
So he usually changes based on our arguments, I think, whenever we're rating it.
It's true.
All
But
right.
this time he's going first, so not a lot of
What
bend.
you got, Daddy?
So this thing had a lot going for it. The set pieces are really good. The helicopter sequence is great. The plot is just kind of, I don't really know what's going on. One thing that we didn't really talk about earlier, though, is Joey, you kept saying as we were watching it, and it was kind of half joking, but also serious. Like, it's crazy that this could happen to anyone.
I really think it could.
Yeah. But it's like this dude is falsely accused of being a cop killer or something, and then suddenly the entire police force is just trying to murder him without due process or anything like that, which is kind of the angle of the reporter, where he's like, yo, this is fucked up. At least give the dude a trial.
I felt it was gripping.
Yeah.
He's falsely accused of being a cop killer by the cops who were trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But who
That's
else is
fucked up.
you're gonna believe? Like normally you just believe the cops, right?
Who watches The Watchmen, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. But it had a lot going for it, but for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's the movie or if I'm just like in a tired mood or whatever, it didn't quite get there for me. So, Justin, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Joey, what's interesting is originally I wrote down 2.5, and then before we even started the recording the show part of it, I changed it to a 3. So 3 bags.
There you go.
Joey's right on the money.
There you go. Yeah, I felt kind of the same. I think I'll give it 3 bags as well.
Okay.
Just for that some of that helicopter stuff is just really amazing. It can't get to 4 because it just lacks some sleaze, I think.
Yeah.
And some general, I don't know.
And it's
something
confusing
weird.
because within a year they put out Skyscraper, which is full of sleaze.
Oh yeah, that's very weird. They just we're just like fuck it, boobs. Which that movie doesn't have a ton of boobs. It has like a weird her remembering a sex scene at some point. I think is the only
Did
real.
it have
boob
like a
scene
weird
from what
like
I
rapey
remember.
scene in it?
Yeah, there's like the rapey scene where she's like undressing for that dude and then throws him out the window or whatever.
She get
and
all
the
the way
remembered
naked
sex
there?
scene. She definitely gets topless. Yeah.
Well, I just remembered the remembered sex scene.
I know because I edited that episode and I had to cover a lot of Anna Nicole nipples.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and she has that shower scene.
Yeah,
too.
the shower scene. Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, they like when they were like, instead of a buff guy, let's do a giant breasted woman. But make the kind of a similar movie, but it'll just be about helicopters because that was the most fun we had.
Yeah.
In the last movie, and they weren't wrong. I think this would be a lot of fun if I was a little more awake and this is like a movie theater.
Yeah.
This would be a blast, quite literally.
What is this rated? This had to have been like PG-13, right?
I don't think it is rated. Maybe it is.
If it went to the theaters,
it says it's rated R for nonstop action and violence and for language. There were a lot of F-bombs.
I just don't think it went to theaters. I would guess that it did not.
It has a pretty big budget for not having gone to theaters.
You think?
This feels like the time where they were dumping all the action movies in theaters, like because they were making a bunch of money. So there's like keep throwing money at it.
I think this is the end of that. I think it's like VHS. You can make enough on VHS to where you didn't need to do all that. And suddenly four-walling a theater or putting it out or whatever was becoming expensive. But they might have tried it with this movie and then abandoned it with the Anna Nicole Smith movie.
Yeah.
It does seem like they learned their they learned what works and doesn't work with this movie and fixed all their problems and doubled down on the next one.
They were okay. We're not that kind of movie, really. We need to be a little bit sleazier and just focus on and just still do the things that we like to do, which are stunts, obviously.
Yeah, focus on what pops: stunts, helicopters, and boobs.
Boobs, yeah. I mean,
that's it.
The formula. I don't know what we rated Skyscraper. Honestly, I would bet a little bit higher than this.
I didn't actually watch it for the. I've seen it, but I didn't watch it for the podcast with y'all.
Let me look it up.
What was yours, Justin? Or did you already rate it?
Justin has not rated yet.
I haven't rated it. I was fluctuating like at points. I was like 2.5, 3, 3.5. But I think for consistency, I'll just go 3. It was right.
Three is across the board.
It was right around there. For all the same reasons. Like it.
Sorry, are you saying that you had a rating ahead of time, but then you heard our ratings and changed yours?
You son of a bitch.
No, I guess I pulled an Adam.
Wow.
When you go last,
goes a long way, huh?
Things
weird.
Change, huh?
Perspective is a bitch.
Yeah, when you go last, things are different.
Anyway, continue with your thoughts.
First, your last.
Justify your flip-flopping.
Love.
Justify.
Sure.
Justified.
We gave Skyscraper 2.35 on average, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty
low. I bet
low.
that was because Mike gave it like a 1.
Oh, yeah, that might have been the case.
Well, it looks like it was me, Joey, Apocalypse, Langhausen, and Giles, which is an interesting group. Anyway, Justin, go ahead and finish your thoughts.
I don't have thoughts. I mean, it was fine. The action bits were awesome. The plot was awful. The writing was awful. There were fun spots, but it meandered at points where I think Joey said it too, but like I could have honestly just fallen asleep.
Yeah,
I was pretty tired, and it wasn't keeping me engaged in a way that I like our trash movies too typically. But it would always pick back up with a cool action piece. But it just like it didn't keep it going enough for me.
It had the best actor of the film was the blonde cop guy.
Yeah,
and you kill him off way early.
Too early, and he could have maybe kept the movie afloat by coming back later. That would have been interesting. If he would have become a monkey, that also would have been pretty crazy.
Yeah, we kept talking about that. Like we really wanted him to become a monkey by the end of it, and then he did not.
Oh well. But the fact that we've given it a higher rating than Skyscraper, that is interesting.
I feel like if we went back and did, and this is an idea we've played with a lot of like going back and doing movies that we did pretty early on, because to be fair, Skyscraper was our 14th episode. That's really early. I mean, that was right after Things.
This is 41.
Right, man. Yeah, we were so high on Things, and it just couldn't keep up.
Right. Like we went from things to skyscraper and then chairman of the board.
Yeah.
Scanner cop, astrologer. Like a lot of formative things were ahead of us when we did skyscraper.
Yeah. So our brains have been warped a little
Yeah.
bit. It's clear. That's become clear.
We had not yet seen The Astrologer, Las Vegas Bloodbath, Whitefire.
Oh man.
I know. Like Triple Fisher.
I forgot about Triple Fisher.
Roar, Body
I wish there were
Melt.
more things like Triple Fisher.
Yeah.
If I had time to think of one, I would do it. Oh, what we were going to do, we were going to cut Jack Frost's together.
Yeah.
That's what we should do.
Yeah. And then trash it.
Yeah. Trash our own trash. It might be interesting, actually. I'm not familiar enough with the quote unquote good one.
The Michael Keaton one.
Yeah, which I'm sure is fucking boring.
I don't know. I watched it as a kid. I don't remember it. So anyway, it looks like that is going to be 3.0 bags of trash out of 5 for 1995's Rage from the Trash Movie Kings. If you haven't already, give us a follow on social media at Trash Movie Kings. Shoot us an email, trashmoviekings@gmail.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, rate us 5 stars, all that good stuff. It means a whole lot. But yeah, so I've been Adam Edwards. Joining me this week, Justin Petty, Joseph Graham. Thank you to both of you for giving up your Thursday nights, Friday mornings. Thank you to Southern Star Brewing Company for the delicious beer that fueled this episode. Thank you all for listening and watching. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.